Hey guys, my name is Susan, and what I'm going to do today is I'm going to share 4 tips that I've used to max out my 2023 Roth IRA in just 7 months. So if that doesn't sound like a great feat for you guys, let me tell you a little bit of a background of how long it's taken me to max it out in the past 4 years, which is when I started investing in the Roth IRA. So the first year that I started investing in the Roth IRA, I didn't have the funds to max it out. I think I might have put $500 in it, and I don't even remember if it was that much. Second year I started investing in it, it took a whole year to invest in it. 12 months, guys. Third year, last year, what I did was it took 8 months, and this year it took 7 months. Not much of a difference in 8 months, but I'm going to share exactly what I did. So the first thing, every year on January 1st, what I do is I push over money from my emergency fund to start building a cushion for it so that I'm not starting from scratch. Now, I don't recommend you pulling money out of your emergency fund, and normally I wouldn't pull money out of my emergency fund, but guys, this is what I do. If you watch this video, I shared exactly where my money goes after I've maxed out my Roth IRA. But what I didn't share in that video is that every year, before the end of the year, what I do is I push a portion of that money, or I stop completely investing in my dividends, and I push that money that is meant to be for my Roth IRA, I push it into my high yield savings account, knowing that that money is going into my high yield savings account and it's allocated for my Roth. That way, come January, when I can start contributing to the new Roth for the year, I'll pull that money from my high yield savings account along with some of the interest that the money has earned, and I push it towards my Roth. I push it into my Roth. That way it builds me a nice little cushion so that I'm not starting from scratch, because it's intimidating for me to know that I have to save $7,500 because 2023 was $7,500 with the catch-up contribution if you're 50 or older. And it just is really intimidating for me. So when I have a little bit of extra of a cushion, a head start, it makes me feel like I can accomplish that. And it's not as, I guess, intimidating as knowing that I have to save the full $7,500, and it'll probably be more next year because they constantly raise the amount that you can contribute. And that's great for us who are trying to contribute as much as possible, but it makes it harder if you're starting from scratch. So that's the reason that I push money into my high yield savings account and allocate it for my Roth. So that way at the beginning of the year, I can start off with $2,000 already saved or $3,000 already saved, or no matter what, any little bit helps. That gives me a jump start and knowing that I don't have to start from scratch. The second way that I did it, guys, is I dollar cost average every month. And what I mean by that, guys, is if I'm paying the same amount, I set up an automatic payment every month so that we're paying the same amount into the contribution regardless of what the market's doing. So while I can't do the whole $625 or $600, I think it's $678 to be able to max it out in 12 months, I do set up a $300 or $400 automatic payment that goes directly into the account. Regardless of what the market's doing, it goes into my account at the same time every month. I've just set it up on Vanguard, and the money is automatically put in there for me. Now, since I have a dollar cost average, so that way I don't have to worry about it, and I can just live my life. And so if I wanted to, I can also extend it, because you have until April 15th to be able to max this out. So instead of paying, if you don't have $675 like I don't, guys, you can also set it up to where it's $478 a month, and then on April 15th you can have your full account maxed out. So it would take a little longer to max it out, but the government does give you until April 15th or tax day, whenever tax day is, that you can fund the Roth IRA. And then after that, you are not allowed to put any more money into it. You have to start contributing to the next year's Roth IRA. So whatever amount you can afford to put in there every month, regardless of what the market's doing, to set up an automatic payment and have this payment come out at the same time every month. That way you can just live your life and not worry about it, but know that your account is being funded. Number 3, what I do is I invest every little penny, extra penny that I have. And what do I mean by that, guys? Is that I know that by me dollar cost averaging $300 a month is not going to max it out. So what I have to do is every little penny that I get, say I flip something online or I get income from somewhere that I really wasn't expecting, what I do is I push that money to my Roth to make sure that I am able to max it out, because like I said, my payment that I set up, my automatic payment of $300 is not going to max it out. I have to have an automatic payment of $678 to be able to max it out in 12 months, or a payment of $478 every month to be able to max it out by April 15th. The 4th thing that I do, guys, is I got a job in 2023 to help me max out my Roth IRA. So I never thought I'd go back to work, but I went back to work at 50 years of age. And the reason I did it is because I am self-employed and my income took a huge hit last year, or at the beginning of this year, actually, when the economy started tanking, my income went along with it. So instead of sitting here stressed out, worried how we're going to pay the bills, how am I going to max out my Roth IRA, how am I going to put money into my 401k, all that stuff, how am I going to be able to save for my future self, I went out and I got a job. I worked at Lowe's for 7 months, and then I decided that it wasn't worth my time. But during that time while I was at Lowe's, all the money that I made from Lowe's, I pushed into my investments. And I made sure that I maxed out my Roth, but I also pushed it into some other investments. It also helped out with some of the bills, but it wasn't a lot of money that I was making at Lowe's, but I was able to max out my Roth IRA, and I'm very thankful for that. So also while at Lowe's, I invested in the company's 401k and managed to get, I think it was like $750 some worth of 401k money from Lowe's. Managed to max out my Roth, and I also got some money from the company for being an employee. So anyway, guys, those are the 4 tips that I used to max out my Roth IRA. So now you're wondering, why am I so hardcore about maxing out my Roth IRA? Guys, the Roth IRA, if you don't know anything about it, you really need to go to Investopedia and read up on this thing. What it is an individual retirement account, and anybody who meets the income requirements or earns taxable income, this could be income from a W-2, income from waiting tables, income from self-employed, any type of income that you pay taxes on, you can open up a Roth IRA. As I said, if you meet the income requirements, and you can find out the income requirements and read all about the Roth IRA by visiting the IRS website and finding out everything you need to know about this account. So the great thing about this account is that when you put money in, you're paying taxes on it. Now, this might not sound like a good thing because it doesn't help lower your taxes for tax purposes, but when you're ready to live off that income and pull that income out, which you can do at 59.5 tax-free, penalty-free, as long as you've had your account for more than 5 years, then all the income is tax-free, meaning you don't have to claim that tax or that income on your taxes. I don't think you have to claim that income on your taxes, but you don't have to pay taxes on it. So I'm not sure how that works, but I do know that you are paying taxes up front, so you don't have to worry about taxes as when you're ready to start using that. So as you know, I'm behind on my income for retirement, and if I continue going down the same path that I am right now, it's not going to be pretty. So therefore, I'm maxing out my Roth IRA as much as I can, and hopefully I can continue to max it out for the next 10-15 years, or as long as I have taxable income. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to share my tips with you on how I max out my Roth IRA in just 7 months in 2023. If you have any tips of what you do to max out your Roth IRA, let me know in the comments below, guys, because as you know, I'm still learning. I'm all about listening, learning, and growing. So make sure you share your tips, and I will talk to you later. Bye, guys.